This signals, though, a nationwide identity crisis for the Democrat Party that once was led by JFK and the Blue Dog Democrats. Democrat moderates now warn that this ultra-radical left that is out of touch with mainstream America will wreck the midterms for the Democrats. That is Socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez you saw there. She did barnstorm the heartland over the weekend with Bernie Sanders. Now this, 42 socialists are now on the federal, state, and local ballots in 20 states, including Kansas and Michigan. Joining me now from the Daily Signal is Kelsey Harkness. Here's the thing. When they talk about free tuition, Kelsey, it's about incentives. When colleges see free tuition, they start spending like there's no tomorrow on, bling college football stadiums or five-star cafeterias, and the taxpayer gets gouged. That Medicare for All, tens of trillions of dollars are the estimates of costs for that. Your reaction to all of this?
Of course, somebody is going to have to pay for all these free things, and this is the thing that we always see when it comes to Democrat socialists. They can never explain where that money is going to come from. But I think you're right to call this an identity crisis for the Democratic Party. My question is, how long is the National Party going to provide cover for these very socialist politicians who at least used to be very different from the Democrats that most of us are used to?
Yeah, it's not our parents' Democrat Party. And here's the thing. Their policies like guaranteed income, guaranteed jobs for all, collapsed economies overseas. I mean, we're talking, let's say it again, Venezuela, North Korea, Cuba. And we've got moderate Democrats, Kelsey, like Bill Pascrell from New Jersey, Tim Ryan, Alcee Hastings, Chris Coons. They warn that these guys are so unhinged from reality, it will ruin the Democrats' case that they should govern again. They're saying it's easier to mock us and marginalize us. And Tim Ryan says, China is seeking world dominance in technology, and we're locked in a 24-hour news spin cycle about these guys.
I think they're right to be concerned. I think that if the future of the Democratic Party is as socialist as Bernie Sanders and some of these others, they are in big trouble. I think the Democrats need to figure out who they are, and along the way, maybe travel across the globe and visit some of these socialist countries and ask, is this really the model that we want to replicate? Because in these countries that you just mentioned, Venezuela, people are going hungry. They're actually going without medicine because often medicine and Medicaid, any sort of medical program for all, isn't able to work. It might sound good on paper, but it does not deliver.
You remember Bernie Sanders said about Venezuela that food lines are, quote, a good thing. Even former FBI Director James Comey is warning Democrats against these socialist candidates. Comey tweeting, quote, Democrats, please, please don't lose your minds and rush to the socialist left. The president and his Republican Party are counting on you to do exactly that. America's great middle wants sensible, balanced, ethical leadership. Sensible leadership. Do you think the heartland of America will sign on to the socialist platform?
Well, first off, Liz, there's a little bit of irony there in James Comey asking for sensible leadership, because I think that's what all Americans wanted when it came to the FBI, the agency that he led. But I think there is some truth to that Americans do want sensible leadership. And it's interesting to see that he isn't even on board with the socialist wing of the Democrat Party.
It looks like Ocasio-Cortez critics are saying that she is not ready for prime time, certainly not ready to debate anybody. Here's Ocasio-Cortez calling for Democrats to flip Kansas red. Watch.
I'm so excited to be hopping on here, Senator Sanders' account, and we're here in Kansas City to rally for Brent Welder. We're going to flip this seat red in November.
Flip the seat red, let me clarify. Is this an honest mistake, or is this a hint of something really problematic?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it was an honest gaffe, and we've all had those, so, we don't need to be too tough on her in that regard. But this is what happens when you rise to fame this quickly. People are paying attention to what you have to say, and you don't have room for these little errors. People are holding you accountable, and now it seems looking at you as some sort of leader of this new millennial generation of socialists.
It shows a systematic breakdown of our universities and what they're being taught, right?
I certainly agree with you there. The challenges we face in our universities are far and wide. I think young Americans, some of my generation, are being wrongly attracted to some of these socialist ideas. It's very dangerous.
Kelsey Harkness, you'll be joining our panel later in the show. Great stuff there, Kelsey. Good to see you.
Thanks for
now
having
coming
me.
up.